Good morning, everyone. My name is Karan Thakur. Today, on our Thoughtful Leaders series, we have Mr. Vishesh Chandrashekar, Director of Corporate and Public Relations, Acharya Institutes. Thank you so much for coming for this initiative, sir. We really appreciate your time. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, Karan. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for that. So, sir, moving ahead to the question we have for you, being the director of Acharya Institutes, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style?
At Acharya, we believe in freedom of expression, be it a student, be it a teacher, be it an administrative staff at Acharya. Clear set goals are defined and everybody is supported in terms of achieving those goals. The aspect of ensuring that the biggest stakeholder, the student on campus, is getting all the kinds of support in terms of academics, in terms of growth, and that is what our motto is, to nurture aspirations and supporting growth. And that's how our leadership works.
That's amazing, sir. Very well said. Moving ahead to the next question. Being the director of Acharya Institutes, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for the marketing and administration of your institutes?
All right. So at Acharya, we don't design programs based on marketing, but we design programs based on what is the industry requirement. As you already know that Acharya is ranked one of the top 10 institutions when it comes to industry connect. So there's a lot of industries which works in parallel with the academia. Some of them actually on campus, which helps us in terms of understanding what would be the requirement 5 years from now, 10 years from now, in terms of ensuring employability to students. So that is how the programs are designed, and the programs are co-curated along with these industries.
That's an amazing approach to make the student industry ready is something which every institute should focus on, right? That should be the prime thing. That's amazing, sir. Moving ahead to the next question. How does the curriculum of Acharya Institutes ensure the best practice in the industry?
Acharya is currently an affiliated institution to the state universities in Karnataka, namely Vishesh Technological University, Bangalore Central University, and Rajiv Gandhi University of Higher Sciences. So they form the basic curriculum when it comes to creating a foundation and the growth in terms of academia when it comes to a student. The value add comes from the add-on curriculum programs or domain training programs that we deliver, basis, as I told you, in partnership with industry. For example, just to give you an example, we have Mahindra and Mahindra as our partner when it comes to automobile engineering. Mercedes-Benz is also our partner. So you have a very strong university curriculum which builds the academic foundation for a student. But the industry requirement is changing by the hour. So you can't design a curriculum well in advance in 4 years in terms of understanding what the industry requires. So by the time a student graduates after the 4th year, probably what they've started as a curriculum is already outdated, or probably are not meeting to the industry standard. So this is where add-on curriculum like domain skills comes into picture, where industries are involved with us in terms of delivering add-on skills in terms of fitting into the requirement of the industry. So there are two types of curriculum that is delivered per program.
That's amazing, sir. That's amazing. Moving ahead to our next question. What do you think your roles and responsibilities to the institution and the students are?
See, as I told you in the beginning of the interview, the biggest stakeholder at Acharya is the student, and everything revolves around the student. So our policies, our planning, our marketing, whatever initiatives that you talk about on the campus revolves around the student. And the best example for that is the way our campus is built. 120 acres of campus with more than 60% of open space. That's a brilliant concept. And the construction here, when it comes to buildings, are designed to meet the requirement of a specific course. So when you come onto the campus, the building for, let's say, a mechanical engineering is not the same as probably an architecture program or a design program. So they are actually designed specifically to meet that particular requirement of the program. So that's why I said, so every concept, every thought process that comes into designing our processes, our policies are, are always derived out of our biggest stakeholder, that's the student.
That actually makes sense. Very nicely put. And if we move ahead to the next question, what would you like the students or the stakeholders to know about your institute, which they might not know?
As I told you, Acharya's biggest strength is in terms of delivering academic content, hands-on learning, industrial exposure and experience to what the industry requires. And that's our vision statement as well. We want to become the fountainhead for industries across the globe. And today we are able to do that, and that speaks volumes in terms of our AICTE-CII ranking when it comes to industry partnership, which I already told you before. So the focus is always to ensure that a student who studies at Acharya is getting theoretical knowledge, practical experience, add-on skills, which will tomorrow enable him to either find a place in terms of the employment market out, or probably create a job environment for his fellow students, because that is another thing that we have done. I mean, we were one of the very early institutions to set up a technology business incubator on campus, and the industries which have been set up on campus have been doing really well. In fact, 2019, one of our startup was ranked the best startup in Asia for an institution-based startup. So these are the few things and initiatives that, as an institution, as a leadership, when it comes to Acharya, that we put priority in terms of importance that we need to give to the stakeholders as a student.
That's amazing, sir. That's amazing. And any light you would like to throw that how your institution, or could be more welcoming to the students of different races or economic background?
I'm sure everybody is aware of Acharya's ethnicity on campus. We have students from nearly 75 different countries, and Acharya is one of the very few students, campuses 10, 15 years ago to welcome international students in a very big way. We have students from the western tip of Africa until North America. So we have a wide spread of students of all colors, all races, every part of India. And that sort of is the uniqueness on campus, the diversity that we have, which is very, very unique to Acharya. And we have been sort of trendsetters for other campuses to follow when it comes to having multiple ethnicities on campus. And the learning in a classroom, when you're sharing a classroom with probably 15 or 20 different nationalities, is a learning in itself. You can't design a curriculum for that. Just interacting with fellow students, sharing your experiences, understanding their culture is an eye-opener. I think it's just one page of a book that you read, and you get to read different books like that across the campus.
That's amazing. Very well put, sir. And, could you just tell us that, what do you see as Acharya Institute's greatest strengths, according to you?
Our students, our faculty, our infrastructure. I think these are the three key pillars of our campus. We, Acharya, as I told you, we accept all categories of students, from being meritoriously brilliant to students who have achieved in different aspects. We have students who are excellent sports persons, students who have culturally or co-curricularly done really well, who deserve or whom we give a lot of scholarships to enable them to come and study, students from economically weaker backgrounds. So we do not limit students to come and be a part of Acharya. So there are multiple avenues that they can opt to be a part of the student community. And that is one strong initiative that we have been taking over the last 30 years of Acharya, and that's been attracting students from different parts of the world.
That's great, sir. And how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your institution, considering the current COVID scenario?
Biggest blessing is our campus size. So we don't need to, put all the kids together in one place. So social distancing is a very easy prospect for us. And interesting. I mean, let me be very honest here. We didn't know that we would have COVID at some time, but all our classroom furnitures are ergonomically designed. So we cannot have even one extra student in a classroom, which is already defined. Let's say if it's a 40-seater or a 60-seater and things like that. And all these, seating arrangements. I wouldn't call it social distancing because that is not something that we had thought of. So they come with ergonomically distanced seating between the kids. So that helps us in terms of going forward. And most of the classroom sizes are designed more than to what the class sizes actually are. So we can easily achieve social distancing when it comes to that. And since the campus is well spread out and a large campus helps easily achieving this, but we have been maintaining all the protocol requirements, like we have the sanitization tunnel. The entire campus gets sanitized morning and evening after each batch comes and goes. And right now the examinations are on, so we've been putting into effect, and we're looking at students probably coming to the campus from the 1st of October, or when the government actually gives us permission to have students on campus. But currently we are having examinations and for the past 1 week, and everything is going on smooth. And I'm sure once the campuses are open for students to physically be here, we will be well prepared. And the best thing which happened out of COVID is Acharya built its own online LMS, a learning management system, which enables hybrid learning. So this particular tool would be available for students from September 1st for the fresh batch of students. Our senior students are already on that because our classes start on 1st of September. Now, where students can attend classes, the LMS helps them to understand the curriculum, the teacher, what is going to be taught, the pedagogy, assignments, assessments, and we're now bringing in virtual learning in terms of technology, where we're bringing in virtual laboratories on this particular portal. So we're well prepared. I mean, COVID or not, I think our learning solutions are already in place.
That's amazing, sir. It's really great to see our partners being prepared in advance to provide and to be there in the industry regardless of the situation. That's pretty amazing. And just before we wrap this up, last question: any suggestions you would like to give the current youth and the aspiring students?
I mean, especially in a scenario like this, I have one message to all these students who have graduated to a next higher level program. And I think a lot of parents and children have a doubt what to do. Should we join an institution? Should we take a break here and things like that? Just one quick point. We are a population of 1.3 billion. We can't afford to miss one academic year. I mean, we're going to create a cascading effect if that happens. And I think our infrastructures are in place for students to look forward to joining this academic year. They don't need to postpone their plans of academics, and they're still available in the job market because it's a great opportunity. And you need to look at 4 years, 5 years, 6 years from now, depending upon the program that you're choosing. It's not the current situation which will determine how you're going to study and what you're going to study. You need to look at 5, 6 years from now. And the slowdown, I may sound a little offbeat here when I say is an opportunity, because the slowdown is only going to go way up when it comes to 4 years to 6 years from now. So that's a fantastic prospect to be in, because you will have a scenario where you are graduating into a year where our economy is actually growing up and are not coming down. So this is the right time to take a decision, identify an institution, identify a program, what the student loves to do, and then probably enroll and go ahead without thinking twice.
That's amazing, sir. Thank you so much for the lovely message to the students. I hope they would take something valuable out of it and would implement it in the real life. Well, thank you so much for your time for this special series of thoughtful leaders. We really appreciate your time and your trust in us. So thank you so much. You have a good day.
Thank you, Karan. It's always been a pleasure.